Hello, Serge here from the back porch. We have a question, a comment and question from Randy Freese, and he signs it Randy F. I appreciate that because I love to be able to at least call you by your first names. So if it doesn't edit out or really describe it well in your email address, if you could at least sign it, that'd be great so we can at least call you by your name. So Randy says, hitting balls this morning, I almost by accident and out of frustration made a slightly bigger turn and hit my driver as straight as I have in weeks. I realized that I have been relying too much on arms only, and with the driver that has meant a big slice. Obviously, right? Because if you don't turn enough and you just right here, once you move your body's forward and very likely out and over the top. And if you're coming in with a straight club face at that point to open, it's going right. And very likely be a big slice. I also had been looking at PAL. PAL is the program I have in the Inner Circle that's called Personal Anytime Lesson. You actually you can give yourself a complete lesson. It asks you to check out your grip, your stance, your posture and alignment. You look at yours and you answer numbers. You look at the pictures and you answer what it is, and it draws a picture of your grip to confirm that what you're seeing is what the picture is up there. And so you do your grip, your stance, your posture, alignment, and then you choose the flight pattern. It diagnoses what you did wrong, why you did it wrong, and tells you what to do to correct it. Plus, it has a whole like about 125 terms and definitions that give you more explanations about things, and we're working on it that at some point in time, what your problems were, it'll flash you back to some of these dailies and other instruction that's on the Inner Circle. That's why, and we're working to make the Inner Circle a better product. So that's what he means by PAL. I'd also been looking at PAL and realized that the triangle my arms form on the backswing was tilted rather than level. So focusing on a triangle and making a better turn gave me a needed boost. What Randy's talking about there is that once we come back here and we're lifting up, we want the triangle, basically if I put a shaft underneath my two elbows, it'd be about level. If my triangle is tilted like this, look where the club goes. And today, the people want your right arm to be like in a right angle here, which is like serving pizza. Well, we're not serving pizza in a good golf ball. And if you do that, look where the club goes. It gets laid off. If you want the club to be vertical, your elbows have to be level, both in the backswing and then into the follow-through. If you get unlevel either way, the club's going the wrong way. So that's what Randy's referencing there. So focusing on the triangle and making a better turn gave me a needed boost. I came home and watched Serge's video about making a good turn, and it seemed as if he had read my mind. Thanks for the ongoing and often amazingly timely advice and for your dedication to helping us all improve. He said he lives in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. There's no instructors up there anywhere close, so these videos and other instructional aids on the website are really important to him. Thanks again, and keep it coming. Well, we're doing plenty. We're trying like heck to get more certified instructors everywhere, and our program is up on the site. And so if you have a pro, be sure to tell him that he can get certified, because you'd love to take lessons from him, but if he doesn't teach the surge swing, you're not interested. And I think that could be one of the biggest boosts to getting more instructors all over the country, excuse me, is for y'all to go out there and tell them, I'd love to take lessons from you, but I'm not going to do it unless you learn the surge swing. And if they're PGA professionals, there's 16 continuing education credit hours that come with taking this program and passing it. And there's a whole lot of other good bonuses for them in those programs, like being able to do surge schools and everything else. So I need your help. If you want to get more instructors, pass on the word to him. And I think the biggest push is you'd like to take lessons from him, but he has to know the surge swing. Right after Randy's points, there was a blog that came in from Joe S. And Joe says, thanks for your posting, talking about Randy's posting. I'm having the same problem, slicing the driver most of the time. I'll try to turn a little more the next time I'm out at the range. Then he states, I don't understand why this is happening because my iron shots are pretty darn straight, just having trouble with the driver, 3 and 5 woods. Any suggestions? Okay, Joe, as you know, when you get on this pad and I come here, I got a suggestion. So yours is a little bit different from what Randy's was doing, I think, because of the fact that you told me you're hitting all the irons good, but not the driver, 3 wood, and 5 wood. You didn't include hybrids. So that gives me the clue what your problem is. And your problem basically is that it's not you, it's the club. They're probably too long. And so I would suggest just go out there and try choking up on them a little bit to as much as even maybe a couple of inches. If you have some of these newer clubs that have been out in the last 2, 3, or 4 years, you might have a driver that's 45, maybe even 45 or 46 inches long. I swing a 43-inch driver, 42 and a half and a 43-inch driver. The 42 and a half is the same length as my 3-wood. And the whole key is to be able to straighten your arms up at impact. And if your drivers are too long, you're very likely having to come out of a shot, might even be coming up on your toes, or the club's so long you can't get, you have to use your upper body to help pull the club down. And once you're pulling it down and using that upper body, you're ahead and starting to open up, as compared to being controlling and just letting the club, when you transition with the bump, come down. So I would say hitting your irons good, hitting your woods poor. It's the woods, not your swing. Well, naturally, the length of the woods would be causing your swing to go bad, so the swing indirectly is affected by that. But I think if you correct the length, you'll eventually correct the swing. And how many times have I read emails where people shortened up their club over here in dailies? And you can go and read. If you read the daily blogs, you'll see how many times, anytime this subject is brought up, people usually come in and say, "Yeah, I cut my clubs down and I'm hitting the ball great." So I would go and get your woods checked. It could be bad shafts in them too, but very likely, let's just start with the length. And cutting clubs off at the top does not relatively affect the flex of the shafts. Whatever it is, it'll pretty much stay the same. What you might have to do is, if you cut an inch or two off, you might have to add maybe a little lead tape on the back to put some weight back in, because in a fulcrum system, they have to make the leads, the longer the club is, and the more clubs sticking out from the fulcrum because of the length, the lighter they have to make the heads to make the club balance out. And so if you take enough off, you might have to put a little bit of lead tape on it. Again, a good club fitter can help you with that. But again, getting back to what Randy was saying, the key is that the bigger turn, if you weren't making enough turn and you're slightly outside, and remember, I tell you folks, that's something I struggle with. I don't get enough turn, and so if I don't make that enough turn, where am I? I'm slightly outside the line, I'm up here. So even if I swing straight down, I'm swinging slightly inside my aiming line. So instead of being aimed there, if I swing it slightly outside, I'm effectively aimed over here now. And so if I come back to the ball and dead square at impact, my ball will start a little left of the target and stay left. And then if I try to stop that and come in here and do a little bit of under releasing, it may start here and then start to somehow cut or fade. I normally don't ever slice. I'll just hit weaker cuts and fades. But for many of you, that could do a little too much. That could really cause a slice, especially if you got clubs and drivers, especially that are way too long. So Randy brought up some break points, and then Joe came back in and brought the thing up about his irons, and I just can't ever let it slide when I hear people say, I hear them or whatever, and that they can hit a lot of clubs good, but they can't hit this one, and normally the ones they can't hit are the woods, and that's because they're too long. So let's make sure that we do the proper amount of turn. We turn to the forward arm and shaft over the toe line in the backswing and come down to impact, and then in the forward swing, after you struck the ball, you turn to where your trailing arm, is over the toe line and up finish at the tee and back. So we have the limit, that is what we call the limited turn, 3/4 backswing. 3/4 because we're only going to 3/4 club straight up, because straight up comes straight down. Vertical is what? In harmony with gravity. A light club is, you can swing it faster with more control. So discussing the 3/4 limited turn swing and the probability that bad shots with only 1 or 2 clubs, it's not you, it's the club. That's a double lesson for today, and so that's it for the Surge, and I'll be talking to you all soon.